How's it going, IO? In this video, we're going to talk about Sophie Turner suing Joe Jonas, Kim Kardashian being slammed for her acting fail, and Angus Cloud's cause of death finally revealed. Alright, so this is just crazy. Sophie Turner has filed a bombshell lawsuit against her ex Joe Jonas, and it is so much worse than we thought. She's now accusing him of some pretty shocking stuff. For one thing, she basically admitted that she was blindsided by his decision to file for divorce. She said the breakdown of their marriage happened very suddenly after an argument that they had on August 15th. In fact, it was so unexpected that she said she learned about their split from the media at the same exact time as the rest of the world. Now, this lines up pretty well with the reports that Joe caught Sophie doing something shocking on the Ring security camera at their home, and apparently that's the reason why he decided to file for divorce. So whatever he saw or heard her doing was the last straw in their marriage, and at that point he realized it was over. Multiple inside sources who have direct contact with Joe have revealed that he has access to a Ring security camera at their home, which was their Miami mansion that they had just sold for $15 million. And now this divorce just keeps getting messier and messier because Sophie has demanded that their two children be returned to England. In a lawsuit filed in a Manhattan court last week, she made it clear that she wants their 3-year-old and their 14-month-old daughter to live with her in England. The complaint against Joe Jonas calls for the immediate return of children wrongfully removed or wrongfully retained. In fact, Sophie's legal team used the words wrongful retention. She claims that Joe agreed to declare England their forever home in conversations that took place over Christmas in 2022, while they were preparing for the year ahead. She said that after they sold their Miami home, they were in the process of buying a home in the English countryside in April, at which point Sophie started filming on the Joan miniseries that she was working on this summer. And once Joe started touring with the Jonas brothers, the documents claim that the two of them agreed to let the girls join him because he had more daytime hours to be available to them, rather than Sophie, who was filming. Although she apparently had a lot of hesitation about this temporary arrangement. The issue of custody came to a head when the two of them met up to discuss the next steps after their split 2 weeks later. At this point, Sophie says that she once again brought up their plan to move to England, but Joe no longer agreed to it. In fact, he had a complete change of heart. According to the documents, he had possession of the children's passports, and he refused to return them to Sophie or to send their children home to England with their mother. And he is really putting his foot down over this issue, because his attorney confirmed that he would not be returning the passports and he would not provide consent for his daughters to move. This is a really crazy development considering that fans had no real idea what happened between them. A few weeks ago, news broke that Joe had his people contact at least 2 divorce lawyers in LA, and he was ready to throw in the towel on their 4-year marriage, which he claimed was irretrievably broken. In the filing, he also revealed that his 2 daughters with Sophie were living with him most of the time leading up to the split. Apparently, over the last 3 months, he's been caring for their children pretty much all the time, even while his band was touring. On the surface, Joe and Sophie's relationship showed no signs of trouble, but it's now being said that they've had some serious problems for the last 6 months. An inside source from his camp gave us a bit more information about their split. They said, "She likes to party, he likes to stay home. They have very different lifestyles." Quote, "Divorce was a last resort for Joe. He never wanted to break up his family, but he had to take what he felt was the best course of action for his girls." He went on to say that an unhappy home isn't a home, and the truth is that he and Sophie were really going through it this year. Around the same time, photos and videos came out showing Sophie downing shots in the UK while Joe was away on tour and presumably looking after the kids. And that seemed to be the main story that was going around. The idea that Sophie is a big drinker and she essentially left their family for long periods of time without a care in the world for Joe or their daughters. But people are now saying that Joe is trying to do everything in his power to try and destroy her reputation and paint her as a bad mother. At the time of their split, they each posted a joint statement to their social media accounts. It said, "After 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage. There are many speculative narratives as to why, but truly, this is a united decision, and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy for us and our children." Unfortunately, things just seem to keep getting worse for them because this divorce has been anything but private. And now, why is Kim Kardashian being slammed as a bad actress? Well, it's all because of her performance on the new season of American Horror Story called Delicate, which is now being dragged by fans of the series. Kim has taken on her first scripted TV performance in the show where she plays a sassy publicist named Siobhan Corbin, but it appears some American Horror Story fans weren't really impressed with her acting chops because they then took to social media to express their distaste. And people did not hold back when it came to talking smack about her acting skills. They wrote things like, "Kim sucks at acting, why is she on this? ruined it for me. Another person wrote, I feel like I gave the new season of AHS a valiant, open-minded watch, but I can't. Kim K is an objectively terrible actress. But the good thing is that it wasn't all negative. In fact, some fans genuinely thought that she did a pretty good job. One person wrote, I don't care what people say. Kim Kardashian is doing amazing, sweetie. Mad props to her acting skills. Kim had a memorable first few lines in the episode called Multiply Thy Pain as her character met with her client Anna Victoria Alcott, played by Emma Roberts. American Horror Story Delicate will return next week on the FX network, and fans of the show are super excited to see what happens with that. But Kim's acting is far from the only drama on set. In fact, her co-star Emma Roberts is now the latest celebrity to be outed as a bully in real life. Angelica Ross has been speaking about her experience filming American Horror Story 1984, and she's now decided to expose a lot of people involved with that, particularly Emma Roberts. She claimed that she irritated almost every actor on the set of the series. Angelica said, folks seemed like they wanted to fight her all the time because she was playing psychological games on set, like she was playing mind games with people. She also claimed that Emma was transphobic towards her, and she described an incident where the two of them were having a conversation with director John J. Gray, when Emma complained to him that she was being mean to her. Gray tried to defuse the situation by saying, okay ladies, that's enough, let's get back to work. To which Emma apparently said, don't you mean lady? Which obviously implies that Angelica was not a woman because she identifies as trans. When speaking about that incident, Angelica said, my blood is boiling because I'm like, if I say something, it's going to be me that's the problem. I know this because there was someone who spoke up about what she was doing and they got repercussions from it. Not her, they did. So she chose not to report it because she felt that she would be retaliated against. After that incident, apparently the two of them didn't speak for the rest of their time filming. Elsewhere in her live, Angelica claimed that Emma yelled at directors and tried to compare salaries with her co-stars, all because she was trying to make it very clear that she was number one on the call sheet and she was the one in charge. Now, as shocking as that story was, there has been an update since we heard it. So Emma Roberts got word of that story and decided to apologize. Angelica said that Emma contacted her to talk about what went down. She jumped back on social media and thanked Emma for hitting her up and recognizing that her behavior was not that of an ally. She said, I will leave the line open to follow up on your desire to do better and support social justice causes with your platform. But clearly a lot of fans have a hard time believing that she was genuinely sorry for making those horrible comments in the first place. And now we finally have some answers about what really happened with the tragic passing of Angus Cloud. It's been revealed that the actor passed away from a lethal combination of substances, and his sudden death was officially ruled as an accident. According to the Alameda County coroner, he suffered acute intoxication from the combination of substances. This is when he passed away at his family home in Oakland on July 31st. At this time, the police and the fire department responded to a call from his mother, who claimed that he didn't have a pulse. A source close to the family told us that Angus had been battling severely dark thoughts after burying his father in Ireland the week before. Angus was staying with his family at the time, trying to work through overcoming his grief, though his mum denies that her son would ever take his own life. They said, as an artist, a friend, a brother and a son, Angus was special to all of us in so many ways. The only comfort we have is knowing Angus is now reunited with his dad, who was his best friend. Angus was open about his battle with mental health, and we hope that his passing can be a reminder to others that they are not alone and that they should not fight this on their own in silence. The actor hailed from Oakland, and he rose to fame on Euphoria playing the iconic character Fez, who quickly became a fan favorite. His role as a slow-talking but magnetic character reflected his demeanor in real life, like in interviews where he seemed hesitant to talk to reporters on the red carpet. To some people, Angus seems so natural as Fez that they thought he wasn't even acting, which is something that he himself had challenged. During an interview with Variety, he said, "It does bother me when people are like, it must be so easy. You get to go in and just be yourself." And I'm like, why don't you go and do that? It's not that simple. I brought a lot to the character. What many fans didn't know is that his mannerisms were the result of a traumatic brain injury that he had experienced many years ago when he fell into a pit. The reporter who spoke to him that day said, within minutes, it became clear that his freak accident was the cause of his slow speech, and his speech was the reason people stereotyped him. He was frustrated that he'd never spoken up about the injury before. After all, why would you let people make fun of you when you can prove that they are uninformed? But Angus saw it differently. From his perspective, the only reason people didn't know is that they didn't ask. In his own words, he said, "You can believe what you want. It ain't got nothing to do with me." So he always had such a wise outlook on life, and he was easily one of the most talented young people out there. What do you guys think about this latest news story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.